Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? So my daughter had the audacity to tell me that it was my fault. My fault. It's my fault. It's mine and my husband's fault. Totally our fault for making her work as a teenager, for giving her jobs to do, for making her responsible for her homework. And that is why, as an adult, she has this inner conscience that makes her be responsible at work and a very hard worker at work. Now, I know there's a lot of people who blame their parents for many things, right? I'm sure we can all nitpick something, right? But I was kind of floored when she was telling me this, that it was all mine and my husband's fault for making her such a responsible, hardworking person. Yes. Yes. I guess there's worse things. There's worse things, absolutely. Yeah. I thought it was funny. I was just like, you're blaming me for what? Oh, yeah, she does. That my girls, I will tell you, they can work circles around most men. And they have. It's been proven. And my sons have very hard work ethics. They all do, actually. And for the younger ones, money's always an incentive. You know. But, yeah. I mean, chores, those parents that the kids run the household, you're going to regret it one day. Telling your child no should not be the end of the world. No. And some parents are afraid to tell their children no just because, oh, they won't be my friend when they're older. Children need discipline. They need rules. They need structure. They also need jobs and responsibilities to grow into, you know, responsible, hardworking adults. They also need to know that it's okay to feel everything they're feeling. If they're feeling frustrated because they have to do this job before they get to play, it's okay. They can be frustrated. They can be mad. They can be angry. They can be, it's not fair. Johnny doesn't have to do work. Johnny gets to play on his iPad all day. Well, my thing was, Johnny's not my child. No. So, what do you do, right? But anyway, today, not another soaping day. But you're going to miss soap. I miss soap. Well, I've been making soap, but I miss the soap. Don't worry, got lots of soap coming up. But anyway, today is another non-soaping day. So 3 things: be kind, be forgiving, be you. And let's go check out our new project on this non-soaping day. Okay, into our non-soaping project, we are doing witch hazel extracts. I'm not sure if there's a technical term for them because you have, you know, tinctures or alcohol glycerites or glycerin. I don't know what they call them when they're made out of witch hazel. I call them witch hazel extracts. So in the upper left-hand corner, you can see my batch sheet for my infusions. I was gonna put it on my website, but you know what? It's easy to just customize and make in Excel, and you can, you know, do it for yourself. Sorry. But the first one we're going to do is rose petal witch hazel. I use this in a lot of things, and I absolutely love it. Witch hazel is an astringent. It's great as a toner, and when you add some botanicals to it, you just boost the benefits of it. So how I make mine is, that's a pint jar. Is it a pint jar? Yeah. Half quart pint. Yeah. And to that, I am adding about, it's right there on the scale, 0.18 ounces of dried rose petals. Do I have a formulation for how I do mine? No, it's just over the years as I experiment, I find the ratios I like for the different types of herbs I do. Now, extracting, I always add a little bit of alcohol to it. Now, that's 0.16. I think you can go up to 1 to 2 times the weight of the alcohol versus the weight of the herb botanical, but I'm not positive. It's, I measure off that teaspoon, so it's usually a teaspoon, and mix it up really well, and then just let it set for a little bit. That's really all there is to it. It's just so the alcohol pulls the compounds out that are, alcohol soluble. This is my witch hazel. I actually switched this up a little bit. I might go back to the other one with the alcohol. This one doesn't have alcohol, but it has a preservative in it, which is similar to the other preservative I use, which I actually had to email them. Yeah, it's I think it's Optifen is the brand name. But I actually had to email them because on their website it was saying Optifen, what I consider Optifen, and they had Germal Plus on the safety data sheets and all that. And so I had to email them, and they were like, oh my gosh, thank you for emailing us. That is a mistake, so they updated the website, and I was like, okay, now I'll buy it. I just don't like Germal Plus or Germal, whatever. It's personal preference. So on my batch sheets, as you can see, I have been making lilac hydrosol like a crazy. But now's the only time for me to really make lilac hydrosol. And our lilacs are actually, they've lasted longer than I thought, but they are slowly dying out. And actually did, actually did dry some too. They dry very well on just a cookie sheet. So my batch number matches my date, and I just put a 01 at the end. And I'm using 6 ounces of witch hazel, so I'm going to make it a 6-ounce batch of my rose witch hazel. So I fill it in, and my witch hazel, I always note which type of witch hazel I am using. And of course, I forgot to put the vodka on there, so you-hoo me, I'll be adding that. Yep, see? 6 ounces. It's nice to fill out, and when it's gone, I label it gone, so I know that this batch is no longer being used. And it's, you have to stay up on this paperwork. And even though I'm little, I'm small business, I'm still a small business, I still do it, because if I get bigger, if by chance I get bigger, if that's what's in the future for me, I will have this all laid out. Like my whole process and procedure all laid out. So as I get bigger, I won't have to deal with that stuff. It's already in the works. So top it off with my witch hazel, and you know me, I put wax paper in between the lid and the jar, whether I use a plastic lid or a metal lid. I think the plastic lids leak easier, and that's just how it is. But this will sit for 2 weeks, okay? Approximately 2 weeks. Do not forget to label. I actually have this scrap piece of paper on my work desk all the time, and it's cut into those little slits. You see that on the left side? So then all I have to do is write out what I am doing and tear this little piece of paper off and tape it to the lid. Voila. It's very easy. I'm a lazy person in some respects. Not all respects, but in some respects I am, and that just simplifies my life instead of running around looking for scratch paper and looking for tape, which I have my tape just on my bench, and all that. One thing I could do is I could also put the date I want to strain it out on the jar. I guess I never do, because I look at the date and it's like, no, I got time, or no, it needs to be strained. It's just how it is. So our second extract is going to be ginger. And I know ginger is an odd thing to think of for skincare and stuff like that, but it has some really great characteristics. I think I actually did a video on ginger, and I will link that below. If I did, I swear I did. Either that or I have the notes and I have yet to do it. So, like I said, my botanicals are different versus what the botanical is and how much I use. So that's not very helpful for you at all, is it? So this was 0.55 ounces of ginger. I do not add alcohol to it. Why? I don't know. That's just me. Maybe it's because it's a root vegetable and not a rose petal thing, bud, you know? That could be. That could be. And then to this, I added 8 ounces of my witch hazel because I wanted more of this. Don't ask me why. Oh, yeah. So these are both used in the lilac face cream, the ginger, rose, and vanilla bean. Yes, I use actually both of them in one product, and then I use them for various other products too. But so filling out my form, maybe I'll bring you in for that one. So see, it's ginger witch hazel. I have the date I made it, and I messed up my batch size and my batch number there, and I just draw an arrow. My whiteout is in the kitchen, so the amount of dried ginger, the witch hazel I use, I put the two together in the 2 weeks straining, and how many ounces I get after, because that's going to make the difference in my cost per ounce for this, right? Because it's going to be, the botanical's going to be out and whatever it's absorbed. So I put the ounce I used. And also the products. Sometimes I will list the products I use. Not always. Usually I will put gone. That's what I put on there. Gone, and you better make some more. Yeah. But that's just how it goes. And once again, label and date, because you will think you will remember. And you know what? You won't remember. You won't. I have discovered that. I have a jar of something. See, my batch numbers and my date all match. They're all the same, so don't worry about it. But I have a jar of something, of some unknown substance. I think it says vodka and something about buds. I just can't throw it away. But anyway, here are the witch hazels right when I was done, shaking them up there. And usually after a week, I will strain my rose petals, because the longer I let them sit, the more discolored they become, which isn't a bad thing, but I really wanted to show you how pretty they can be if you strain them early. And so you just need a simple cheesecloth and a small strainer and a clean glass jar underneath. And I just take it and squeeze the crap out of it. Literally, you don't want to leave any of that in there. You want to get every little bit out that you possibly can. Now, something really quick to note is, I'm going to pour it into a jar, but you could actually put saran wrap on this and let it set for 2 or 3 days, so all the sediment drops to the bottom in case you didn't get it all. Okay, you let the sediment set to the bottom, and then you can pour it into a clean jar. I'm going to pour it into a clean jar right away, just because I don't want it to get knocked over and spilled, and but you could do that too. You could pour it into a clean jar, let it set for 3 days, and then pour it into another clean jar. I hate dishes. That's how it is. So I also take the measurement of how much it weighs. How much do I have left? Because those rose petals do soak it up. And that's how I find my cost of my product, because it's not going to be the full 6 ounces of what I did. It's actually the 5.66 that I write on my batch sheet. That's how much I got, and then I divide it by my, on my costs and everything, and divide how much per ounce it actually is. And there you go. There are the witch hazels. I have to strain the ginger. But anyway, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I'll see you next time. God bless.